This is the second part to the practice test answer key. Make sure you've watched the first part before going through this part here. Also, make sure you have attempted every problem before looking at the answers. Question number 5. Mr. Johnson's family, along with some of his friends and their families, went to the zoo. Adult tickets are $11.50 each, while child ticket is $8.50. The group of 15 people spent $136.50 on tickets. How many adult tickets and child tickets were purchased? First part is to write your system. Okay, so this situation, we've got two things that we're considering: total price and total amount of tickets. We have two variables. We've got our adult tickets and our child tickets. So when I write my system, I'm going to have a variable representing adult tickets and a variable representing child tickets. I'm going to use A for adult tickets and C for child tickets, and I'm going to start my first equation representing total price. Okay, so my total price spent was $136.50. Okay, I know that each adult ticket was $11.50. I'm going to use A, as I said, for adult tickets. So $11.50 times A, however many tickets that is, plus $8.50 times C. I'm trying to figure out how many tickets, of course. All right, so that's my first equation for the system representing total price. Okay, now the next one's a little bit more tricky to create. Okay, and the next one just represents total number of tickets, since that's the other information given. The group of 15 people. So how many total tickets are there? There's 15. So this next equation represents the total number of tickets. I've only got two types. I have adult tickets and I have child tickets. So however many adult tickets plus the child tickets has to equal 15. There is my system. Now I'm ready to solve my system. You can solve using any method you'd like to. I would recommend trying elimination or substitution. I would not try to graph these. Okay, I'm going to go with elimination. Everything's kind of stacked up and lined for elimination. I won't have to rearrange anything, but I will have to make sure that one of my variables eliminates. Okay? All right, so I am going to eliminate my C's. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by $8.50 so that the C's will eliminate. If I multiply the bottom one by 850, the bottom one's going to become, actually I'm going to go by negative 850. Okay, so it's going to become negative 850 times A. This will be minus now since it's a negative I'm multiplying by. Negative 850 C. And then I need to do 15 times 8.5. 15 times negative 8.5 is negative 127.5. All right, the top equation I don't need to change. I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, so here's my system. Now I can just add down since I multiplied by a negative. And my C's are going to eliminate. That's the variable I chose to eliminate. 11.5 minus 8.5 is 3. So 3 adult tickets is equal to 136 minus 136.50 minus 127.50 is 9. Divide by 3. And it looks like this is representing number of tickets. So we have 3 adult tickets that were purchased. if there's 3 adult tickets, I can take this and plug it back in right over here, and then I'm going to get 12 child tickets. So the solution to this system is 3 adult tickets and 12 child tickets, and I need to write that down. Those add together to give 15. All right. Next one. Printing a newsletter costs $1.50 per copy plus $450 in printer fees. The copies are sold for $3 each. How many copies of newsletter must be sold to break even? Okay, so I'm going to start by writing my system out. So the first equation I'm representing is when I do this option, the $1.50 per copy plus the $4.50 printer fees. So $1.50 per copy plus my printer fees of $4.50 is equal to my total cost, right? Normally I would represent that with a C, but I already have C in there, so I'm just going to go Y, and Y represents my total cost. And then my other one is the copies are just sold for $3 each. There's no extra fees with that. You can buy, each copy is $3. So $3 per copy is equal to my total cost. Okay, so here's my system. We're asked when would they break even. So that means if they're breaking even, it's saying when would the costs be the same. So we could set these equal to each other and figure out when the cost would be the same, right? Think of it as like a substitution problem. I can take this 3C and plug it in for that Y and set them equal. So I have $1.50 C plus $4.50 is equal to 3C. All right, now I'm just solving for C and figuring out how many copies that's going to take. Subtract 150 from both sides, 150C. These eliminate. You have 450 is equal to 1.5. Divide by 1.5 from both sides. 450 divided by 1.5 is 300. So it's 300 copies. That's how many it's going to take to break even. And then if I wanted to figure out how much I'm actually spending on that, I could multiply 300 times 3 to figure out how much my total cost is. So it'd be 300 copies, which is equal to $900 spent. This question is just asking for the copies, but understand that's the system. Or that's the solution to that system. All right, next, these ones are just review questions. Okay, solve the equation. So here, we're just solving. I'm going to start by distributing. So 5x minus 35 minus 3x equals negative 8x plus 5. Combine like terms. 2x minus 35 equals negative 8x plus 5. I'm going to add the 8x to the other side so that I can get a positive x. So 10x, when I add 8x to both sides, minus 35 equals 5. Add the 35 to the other side. 10x equals 40. Divide by 10, and we get x is equal to 4. Okay, so that's just a review question on solving. We got 4 for that one. Number 8, solve the equation for y and then state the slope and y-intercept. So I want to get y by itself. So we've kind of been practicing this when we rearrange things, but it also is important that we know what's the slope and what's the y-intercept if it's in slope-intercept form. Okay, I want the y by itself, so I'm going to start by taking the 4x and moving it across. Remember, when you move something across, you're just doing the opposite of that number, so I would be subtracting it, right? So moving it across is going to turn it to a negative 4x. You still have your plus 16. Okay, now we need to divide everything by 8. And we get negative 1/2, because that's what this reduces down to. And then 16 divided by 8 is 2. So here is the equation in slope-intercept form. So that's the first part. The second part says state what the slope and the y-intercept is. So what is my slope? What is my y-intercept? My slope is negative 1/2. My y-intercept is 2. So don't forget that part. Number 9, what method is best for solving? Here, there's really not a wrong answer as long as you can describe like why you chose it. Both of these are set up for slope-intercept form, so this is one that you could probably graph. So graphing would be an option, but you would just say, I chose graphing because it's in slope-intercept form. I actually prefer substitution. I don't like to graph unless I have graph paper. So I would choose substitution here, and I would say I chose substitution because I can just set these two equations equal to each other since they're both solved for y. All right. Those are the two that I would pick. Technically, you could say elimination, but you would have to talk about rearranging the problem first before using elimination. But you need to explain your reasoning if you want to get points for it. Okay, question 10. Evaluate the function for the given values. So here's the function that we're evaluating, and we're doing three different inputs: 4, -3, and 0. So take the numbers and plug them in and see what you get. When we plug a 4 into the function, we get 4 squared minus 2. No. 4 squared minus 4. 16 minus 4. That is 12. Okay, so when I plug 4 in, I get 12. All right, plug a -3 in. -3. This time I'm putting it in parentheses. I probably should have shown parentheses around the first one. But with a positive, it's not going to change the value. But with a negative, it will. So I take the -3 and I'm squaring it, then subtracting 4. -3 squared is positive 9. Two negatives, so if you multiply -3 times -3, it makes a positive 9. But if you got a calculator, guys, practice just typing them in there, okay? 9 minus 4 is 5. Last one, plug a 0 in. 0 squared minus 4, 0 minus 4 is -4. All right, that is your test. That's your practice test, guys. If you can do every single type of problem on this, you're going to ace the test. If you are struggling on some of these questions, please reach out to me. Let me know, and we'll find a way to get you more confident with those types of questions. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this helpful.